Hello and welcome back to another showcase as part of Sorbita'S Indie Month. Today we have got something slightly different. We have played Sailaway before, however there have been some more changes to the game since we played it. The tutorials have been overhauled slightly. There is a little bit more on offer, and so I thought it would be fitting to dive back into Sailaway for a showcase as part of our indie month on my channel. For those that don't know, Sailaway is or claims to be the most realistic sailing simulator, and I would have to say, from what I have gathered and experienced so far with Sailaway, they are not lying when they say that. It is definitely a sailing game for people who know how to sail or people who are interested in sailing, and it is by no means easy, but that isn't necessarily a bad thing. They are very, very true to form with all of the mechanics that come with sailing, all of the elements that essentially make up a sailing event. And to show that, I want to essentially resume the tutorials. We are going to start back from at the beginning with the first tutorial, Welcome to Sailaway, and as with all of the other showcases as part of this indie project, we will have a 30-minute gameplay session where I will be showcasing the game to you and giving you a taster or a teaser of what the game is like and what it feels like to play. And I would love it if you could pop your thoughts on the game into the comments. Let me know what you think of Sailaway. Let me know what you think of Sorbita'S Indie Month, and can be good or bad. I take everything on board. No pun intended. And with that, I would say let's dive right in. So, you need to sail the Nordic folk boats. Yes, we shall do that. Welcome to Sailaway. Thank you for taking this brief introduction tour. Click Next to check out what you can do with Sailaway. Next. Steering. You can steer and operate the boat like you would do with a real sailboat. To steer, click the helm with the mouse, hold the mouse button down, and drag it left or right. And we can also use the A and D keys. There we go. So here we are using the helm to control it with left and right. Let's just change our viewpoint. There we go. Look around. You can look around by clicking somewhere on an empty space on the screen and drag the mouse left or right while holding down the while you hold down the mouse button. In this case, you would hold down the right mouse button, and we can look around. Quite easy. Up until this point, at least. So, moving around, to move to a different position on the boat, you can either click the blue circle that lights up when you move your mouse, press the page up or page down key, or use the button on the bottom right corner of the screen. Let's do it like this for now. Now using page up, page down. Lovely. Okay. So, oh, hold on. There we go. Here's a topside view of the boat. And I think we can also get a view from afar. There we go. That's us. Adjust the lines. To adjust the sail, you can click a rope called a line on a boat and then pull or ease it with a mouse. But in this tutorial, your skill level is set to beginner and all you can do is steer. Well, thank God for that. Skill levels. If you want to change the skill level, you can do it through the main menu. top right button or escape key and select options, gameplay. Activities. Also in the main menu, right top button, you can find other tutorials, accept a challenge, join a race, or accept an invitation from someone to sail together. So yes, this game is ultimately completely online. There are other people sailing in Sailaway, and I think if we have a quick look on the map, I wonder if I can show you that. If I zoom out, I don't know if we can already. There's one boat here. Where's that us? I don't think that's us, is it? No, so we are here, and can we zoom out? Zoom out a little bit more. There we go. Don't see any boats in our vicinity here, but yes, you can literally. Oh yes, there we go. There's quite a collection of boats over here. So maybe if we already turn the boats towards them, and apparently there should also be some boats in our area here, I think. I don't know if you can ultimately see other boats if you're not actively sailing with them, but maybe we'll still get to that. For now, let's continue the tutorial. Finished. Thank you. Oh, let's close the map. Don't forget to check out the other tutorials under main menu, activities, tutorials. Do you want to start the next tutorial, steering a boat? Well, yes, we would like to do that. You need to sail the Nordic folk boat. Learn for this. Do you want to switch to your Nordic folk boat learn? Yes, we would like to do that. Becoming a helmsman. As a helmsman, you need to know a few basic things before you start turning that wheel or pull that helm. Lucky for you, this is fairly easy to learn. Momentum. When you turn the steering wheel, the boat does not respond immediately. This is because the boat is big and heavy. It responds with a delay. Try it if you want. Okay, so let's turn it this way. Actually, no, I'll just use the A and D keys. Whoa! Oh, we are picking up some speed. Okay, we're losing speed again. Our boat is... there we go. We are definitely picking up some speed now. When you turn the steering wheel, the boat doesn't... Yes, we've already had that. One moment. Please hang on while the boat turns against the wind. Why? Of course, part of the tutorial, I'm guessing. Against the wind. You can't sail straight against the wind. The sails are flapping back and forth and the boat lies dead in the water. The rudder hardly works because you have no speed. This is called in irons. Okay, so right now we're in irons. We have a little message popping up here saying we're going straight into the wind, which is not ideal. Turning speed. When the boat has no speed, there is no pressure on the rudder and the boat will steer very slowly. You need forward speed to be able to steer properly. Sounds good. True wind angle, that's TWA. You can recognize when the boat is in irons. The front, the bow, is pointing towards the wind. The angle to the wind is around 0 degrees. So here we have our wind angle. Our true wind angle is 0 degrees. There we go. So we're pretty much bang on in irons. This angle is called true wind angle, or shortened TWA. See if you can find the value for TWA. Upwind, try to steer the boat to the right, starboard, away from the wind, until TWA is about 45 degrees. So we need to get to about here. Hold on, oh that's a little bit too far now. Upwinds, you're now sailing upwinds. Most boats will start moving forward at a TWA of about 40 to 45 degrees. Now try to steer the boat further away from the wind until the TWA, or true wind angle, is somewhere between 90 to 150 degrees. Okay, we can do that. So we're now on 67, 70, a little bit more. So we're now flipping into 90s. There we go. Reaching. You're now sailing on a reach. The wind is coming from your side. This is when the boat will sail fastest. Yes, our speed is now 5.9 knots. Click next to watch how the boat steers further until the TWA is almost at 180 degrees. Okay, so if we watch our speed, we can see that it is almost immediately dropping off. That is because obviously we are having the same effect as if, or near enough same effect as if we were going into the wind. We're now obviously downwind. You're now sailing downwind. The wind is coming from behind you. Funnily enough, this is when most boats sail the slowest. Click next to find out what happens when we steer the boat just a little bit further. Jibing. Bam! This was called a jibe, but we steered a little bit too far down the wind and suddenly the sail flipped over to the other side. This is when serious accidents can happen on a boat. If the wind is strong enough, you may even break the mast. I don't know if that's actually possible in the game. I've never thought about it. Jibing too. When you're on a sailboat, always watch out for a jibe, and if you're behind the wheel, keep a good eye on the wind angle and never let it go beyond 180 degrees. Better keep a little margin. Click next to see how we complete the circle. So we are heading towards upwind. We're coming up to 90 degrees again. Reaching. Back on a reaching course, the wind blows sideways. There we go. So we've almost gone full circle. Our speed is back up to 5.9 knots. I believe that was the fastest we've gone so far on our little sailboat. Watch how the boat steers further to the right until it sails upwind again. See, the closer we're getting to upwind, our speed, well, it is actually picking up right now, but should be coming down shortly. There we go, 5.3. Upwind. The boat is sailing upwind. Now try to steer further against the wind and keep on turning until you sail upwind 45 degrees with the sails on the other side. Push the helm away from you. Okay, so there we go. Now we're roughly, okay, we keep fluctuating between 40 and 45. Congratulations, you've just made your first tack. Tacking is when you steer up against the wind until the wind comes from the other side of the boat. Tacking is the opposite of jibing. Against the wind. This is how boats can sail against the wind. They sail upwind for a while, then tack, and sail upwind some more. So essentially it's a zigzag style. So the wind is coming from in front of us, and we go right for a little bit at 45 degree angles, and we go left at 45 degree angles, and are picking up some speed that way. Well done. You now know the most important thing about steering a boat. The course is upwind, reaching downwind, the maneuvers, jibing and tacking. Do you want to start the next tutorial, sail types? Why yes, that sounds good to me. You need to sail the Sailaway Cruiser 38 for this. Do you want to switch to your Sailaway Cruiser 38, Mr. Beaumont? Yes. How much sail? As the wind increases, you typically need less sail. Strong wind equals small sails, light wind equals big sails. Interesting. I wouldn't have thought that, to be honest. So let's see. Let's go through this from feeble breeze to a mighty storm. Mainsail and genoa. The wind is light. The mainsail and the genoa are raised. A genoa is a big foresail that extends beyond the mast. Blue in the picture, so that's this one here. Next. Too much heel. Whoa. I would say we're practically okay. Too much heel. The wind has increased a bit and the boat heels over more than we want it to. Not only is it uncomfortable, excessive heel slows the boat down and makes it harder to steer. Yes, because we're hardly on the water anymore. We're in the water. Okay, so reef 1. To reduce the sail area a bit, we set the first reef. In Sailaway, all we need to do is pull the line called main reef 1 to 100%. The mainsail will become a bit smaller and the boat will have less heel, steer easier, and may even sail faster. Okay, so that's this one here. A jib. Now that the wind is even stronger, we need a smaller foresail as well. The jib, green in the picture. Okay, so that's our third sail by the looks of it. We remove the genoa by furling it up and raise the jib with a jib halyard. Okay, so I can still actually... the wind has gotten stronger yet. It has become time for reef number 2. The mainsail is smaller now, but it still isn't enough. We have one more reef to go. Reef number 3. Okay, we are now in stormy conditions, as we can tell. Number 4. All we can do to reduce the sail area now is lower the jib. Some boats have an even smaller foresail called the number 4, red in the picture. Unfortunately, we don't have one, so we will do without a foresail in this wind. The Jenica. There is one special foresail that we left out so far. The Jenica. It is a big round sail that is used when the wind blows from behind. And one last time, the foresails from big to small. The Jenica, the Genoa, the jib, and the number 4. Hope this all made sense and that you will have fun experimenting with these sails. Do you want to start the next tutorial? Planning voyages. Yes, that would be quite good. In our first playthrough, that wasn't actually available. So it's quite nice to actually... well, when I say playthrough, obviously this is a completely open-ended game. There's no such thing as a playthrough. But in our first attempt at sailing, we... didn't really seem to have access to these tutorials, and in fact when we tried the tutorial, oh there we go, voyages, you can set up a voyage with a with waypoints to guide your boat. The current voyage always exists on the map and is shown by a yellow line. So I know the last time we had a go at Sailaway, we weren't actually even able to complete the third tutorial, so the tutorial that we just went through. It just seemed to kind of skip over it. I don't know if that was a bug or if the tutorial itself just wasn't available yet, but it is now, and we have just experienced it, and so far so good. So let's see what else we can get from our voyages. Set up a new voyage. Let's set up a new voyage from Casablanca to New York City. You can see on the map that we've placed the voyage start triangle for you at Casablanca, so drag the voyage end square to near New York City. You'll need to zoom out to do this. Okay, so this is how I drag it, yes. Okay, cool. How far do we need to zoom out? Quite a bit, I would say. Well, let's first head over here. And zoom back in. And once we are a little bit closer, we can fine-tune. So whereabouts is New York City? We find it on the map. Let's zoom out once more. Maybe it'll... Oh, hold on, I just had some names. I think there might be lost where we are. No. Come on, give us some names. Something Toronto, New York City, down there. So it wasn't that far off. There we go, we are now set to New York City. You now have a voyage that starts at Casablanca and ends at New York City. Adding waypoints. Now, say we want to pop in on somewhere else on the way. You'll need to add a waypoint to your voyage. To add a waypoint, drag a waypoint circle from the yellow voyage line and put it where you like. What about the Canary Islands? What about the Canary Islands? Do you know, I would quite like... So... deleting a waypoint, maybe if we kind of fly past Florida Keys. I think that might be quite interesting. Or do we need to delete the waypoint, just drag it back so that the voyage is straight again, and the waypoint will delete itself. Okay. So is that straight? There we go. Okay. Does it also tell us that's voyage done? Let's now look at navigation. Teleporting. First, let's teleport to the start of our voyage at Casablanca. Okay, click on the map near Casablanca to set your teleport location. Notice the aeroplane appears and press the teleport button to drop your boat there. So let's, start here. So there's our little aeroplane. Instantly go to location. Completing waypoints. Actually, before we do that, let's look around, see if we can see the coastline. Oh, hold on, what was that? Is that under the boat there? No, what's that? I want to know what that is. We are... there we go, hold on. Okay, completing waypoints. Well done. As you sail along the voyage, the waypoints will turn from hollow to filled in to show you how far you've come. Your GPS will point you to the next uncompleted hollow waypoint on your voyage. Okay. There are a few useful tools in the navigation menu at the top of the screen that will help you follow a voyage. So we can... okay, well done. So that's the top of our screen. Maintain compass heading. The first sets your boat to follow the current compass setting. Set auto navigation to... what did that tooltip say? To maintain your heading. Nice, okay. The second sets your boat to maintain the current angle to the wind. Do we want to maintain the current angle? Set auto navigation to name the angle to the wind. Okay. This is useful to maintain your trim settings, but may cause you to move off course. Interesting. Follow voyage waypoints. The third is for your boat to automatically follow the voyage you've set out. So that's probably the most useful. This will only work when you're offline and may be banned in some challenges and races. Okay, interesting, I see. Weigh anchor. The final button weighs anchor. Note that this automatically turns your boat to the wind so that it's easy to put your sail back up. You can only raise your mainsail when facing the wind. Okay. All done. That's this tutorial finished. Happy sailing. Tip. You can invite other sailors to join you on your voyages. Just use the invite menu in the top left-hand corner. Do you want to start the next tutorial? Naming of lines. Yes, why not? We still have roughly 8 minutes left. So we might as well get some more done. Hold on, so if we stick to our compass for now, and that should keep our heading. Naming of sails. It is assumed in this tutorial that you already know the names of the various sails. If not, best run the sail types tutorial first. Also, don't worry about the purpose of some of the lines yet. We will cover that in another tutorial. Good. So, the halyard. Everything starts... Let's move that over here so we can see that a little bit better. To be fair, we can probably see it best here. Let's close the map though. For now, everything starts with a line that is used to raise the sail, the halyard. It runs through a block in the top of the mast and pulls the sail up. Multiple halyards. Since a boat often has more than one sail, it also has more than one halyard. These are main halyard, genoa halyard, jib halyard, jennica halyard, and so on. Genoa furler. Often the genoa can be rolled up at the front. In that case, there's a line that can be used to wind and unwind it. This line is indicated as genoa furl. I'm missing that up here somewhere. The sheet. If we'd simply raised the sails with the halyards, they would uselessly wave like a flag. So there's an extra line that pulls the sail towards the center of the boat. This is called the sheet. Which I'm guessing if we were to turn around slightly. There we go, so these are our sheets. If we hover over them, does it say that as well? Maintain main sheet 66%. Try to make the telltale little flapping things show an even airflow on both sides. Multiple sheets. The sheet is the most important line to adjust. You adjust it very often to match the angle of the sail to the wind. All sails have sheets. The main sheet, the genoa sheet, the jib sheet, the jennica sheet, and so on. The outhaul, the bottom of the mainsail. Let's see, where's the bottom of the mainsail? I'm not quite sure. The bottom of the mainsail is attached to the boom. There is a line that pulls this bottom of the sail right towards the back of the boom, and this is called the outhaul. Bang! From the bottom of the mast, the boom runs a diagonal line that pulls the boom down. This is called the vang. The Cunningham, which is here. The mainsail often has a line that pulls the bottom corner near the mast downwards. This is called the Cunningham. And then we also have the Traveller. I wonder if I can... Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. The point where the main sheet block is mounted on the boat often runs on a rail. The car on this rail can be pulled towards the wind side of the boat. The line is indicated as Traveller. Oh, that was one too many. The lead car, the genoa sheet or a jib sheet, runs from the sail to a point on the boat. This point is again attached to a rail and can be moved forward or backward. This line is indicated as genoa lead car or jib lead car. And the backstay. The final line we discuss runs from the mast down to the back of the boat. This is the backstay. So this should be... Is that this one? Does it highlight it for me? No, it doesn't look like it. Ooh, but we are in a very odd, precarious position. That's it. We hope you can remember all these names, but if you can't, don't worry. The game will try to help you where it can. Do you want to start the next tutorial? How sails work? Yes, I think let's jump into that one. We've got roughly just about 5 minutes left, more or less. So, the early sails. Sails used to be square cloths that tried to catch the winds, but these sails only work when the wind blows in the right direction. The modern sail, the sail technology has come a long way since then, as has sail material. The image below is of a sail viewed from above. Note it's curved. The airplane wing. Modern sails work much more like an airplane wing. They bend the airflow, shown in the image in blue. So that's our sail, and the airflow literally goes to the left and to the right of it. The force. This is not a Star Wars reference. This creates this creates a force that tries to push the sail. This force always points roughly 90 degrees away from the sail. Oh, I think we skipped one. The force direction. Unfortunately, the force direction of this, the direction of this force is not the same as the direction of the boat. Propulsion and drift. It pushes the boat forward, but also sideways. This sideways motion is called drift. Minimizing drift. We want to move forwards, not sideways, so the boat is shaped in such a way that it easily moves forward, but pushing it sideways is a lot harder. Well, that's good. Against the wind. A modern boat can easily sail up to 40 to 45 degrees against the wind because the sideways component of the forces in the sail is compensated as much as possible and the forward component remains. That's all. We hope this made sense. Happy sailing. Do you want to start the next tutorial? Apparent wind. I think we might still have time to quickly look into it, but I don't think we'll be able to see much more than that because our time is almost up. Always against the wind. If you ever rode a bicycle and wondered why you hardly ever have the wind in your back, this tutorial is for you. No wind. It's a beautiful day with no wind at all. Boat is dead in the water. Moving forward, we don't have an engine, but let's suppose the boat would have one. You start the engine and the boat starts moving forward with respect to the sea and the air. Feels like wind. Standing on the boat, this would feel like wind, even though there is no real wind. Speed of the boat appears as if there is wind, even though the true wind is still zero. This self-created wind is called the apparent wind. The speed of the apparent wind is in this case equal to the speed of the boat. That's good to know. Wind 90-degree angles. The wind has picked up and is coming from the side of the boat at 90 degrees. Navigation window. The true wind direction is 90 degrees and the true wind speed is 10 knots. You can check it out in the navigation window. Navigation window was... Oh, I guess this was the navigation window. Winds add up. When the boat starts moving, it produces its own wind again, but this wind is added to the true wind, which is still coming from the side. Together they form a wind that seems to come slightly more from up front. Navigation window. Check it in the navigation window. Do you see the second needle? Yes. So TWD and AWD. The true wind direction TWD is still 90 degrees, but the apparent wind direction AWD is about 50 degrees. In fact, our TWD is do you know what? Apparent wind angle. Okay, I see. TWS and AWS. Now check what has happened to the wind speed. The true wind speed TWS is still 10 knots. So here 9.6. But the apparent wind speed is now seems to be 12 knots, or 13.7 in our case. Let's skip it. Oh no, there we go. This apparent wind speed is the wind we feel in our face, and it is also the wind the sails will experience. Faster than the wind. This is why some superboats can sail faster than the true wind. It's because they don't sail on true wind, they sail on the apparent wind. The faster they sail, the stronger the apparent wind. Changing AWD. So the apparent wind direction changes gradually the faster we go, but when the boat speed is 0, the apparent wind direction is equal to the true wind direction. Adjusting sail angle. This means that the person who controls the angle of the sail to match the apparent wind has an important task. The sheets have to be pulled gradually as the boat picks up speed and the angle of the apparent wind changes. Okay, I think we skipped something there. I'm not quite sure what happened there. Back to 0. The boat does not move much anymore, and the AWD, the apparent wind direction is roughly 90 degrees again. accelerating. Now watch how the sheet is gradually pulled while the boat picks up speed and the apparent wind angle changes. So the apparent wind angle is currently still 30 degrees. It sticks at 30 degrees, okay. And that's it. Hope this all made some sense. It definitely made more sense this time around than it did last time. I feel a little bit more confident with sailing and our sailing experience. I'm just going to do some tacking, move the... Oh no, hold on, I was... Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Yep, swing that the other way. There we go. And we have pretty much slowed down our boat. So I'm guessing that might be the marker from where we started off. Let's say, here, we shall start to work when you're offline, yes. I hope this all made some sense. Okay, do you want to start the next tutorial, Telltales? We won't in this case. We'll probably, or maybe jump into that another time, because for now our time is up. Oh yes, okay, so it is still sailing on. So yes, thank you very much for tuning into our showcase of Sailaway. I feel we did manage to get a lot more out of it this time around than we did last time. I hope you enjoyed this brief glimpse into what I would say is the ultimate sailing simulator. Their claim that they're the most realistic sailing simulator is absolutely spot on and well deserved. Yes, I hope you enjoyed this little sneak peek into the game. Do drop a line into the comments and let me know what you think of Sailaway, and of course what you think of the indie project and, well, Sorbita'S Indie Month, ultimately. Into the comments below the video. I read all comments, I try to reply to all the comments, and generally I love your feedback. Whether that's good or bad, I take everything on board. And of course, if you want to make sure you don't miss any further showcases coming your way, there's a new showcase released every day of the month for April. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and you will see the video pop up in your feed. And if you want to make sure that you get notified as well, just tick the bell, and as soon as the video becomes available or the next showcase becomes available, you will get a notification. So once again, thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in. This is Sorbitar, over and out.